Today, we are going to get the Maverick running better. Running right, hopefully. In the last video, you know, I got that, we were held up. I got a bad distributor. That was the second bad distributor from that one supplier. I have found another supplier, another place that remanufactures them. And the difference in these distributors is night and day. You know, one is garbage. It was, you know, those two, I've gotten two bad ones from them now. It's as bad as the old one I'm taking out that needs repaired. The one I have now is, from what I can tell, we're gonna get over on the bench. I don't feel any play in that bushing. I'm gonna get it over on the bench, and I'll show you how much, some things about it. It's night and day. It really is, the quality. So I'm gonna put that in today and get the Maverick fired back up. And real quickly, so far I've just said, oh yeah, I've had it running, but you've had to take my word for it, right? Well, here's this. Now that seems like it's running pretty smooth, right? Not too bad, but it still stumbles, and you know, out in the road under different RPMs and different loads, it'll hesitate and stumble, and higher RPMs, going down the highway a little bit, it'll let off the gas, it just backfires real bad. And that's all because that shaft in there is all moving around from that loose bushing, and the you know, the point gap is fluctuating, and you know, it's just all over the place because that shaft is so loose. Anyway, we're gonna get up here, get up to the bench, and Bella knows where we're going. Look, and she's trying to be patient with me, but she knows darn well where we're going because we're pretty close. She has this way. Once we make the next turn, she'll start whining, like, hurry up, go faster, I can't wait. All right, let's get up to the garage. Okay, we were here and we seen in the last video how much play was in this old bushing, right? It's about, you know, from 0 to 10,000s. And if you wiggle it just right, you can get a little bit more out of it, but yeah, so that is that's pretty bad. And I'll bet this one, I haven't returned it yet, is just as bad, if not worse. But here's the good one. We'll get back to that guy. Here, first thing, I'm going to show you this pin. They put this gear on the shaft and they drill. There's a pin that goes through the hole to hold it on. Once it's on, they drill it and pin it. Well, they can use the original hole. You know, they have to take that off and they redo their thing. They're supposed to. But here, there's all these other holes in it. There's a total of 3 holes that go through. I mean, they've kind of turned that into Swiss cheese. So that's kind of an issue. It's like, we didn't hit it right the first time. Let's try again and try again. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Another thing is, I don't know if you can all see this very well. There's the points in there. There's this little, let me get over here. There's this little, hang on. Oopsie. Here we go. Right here, this arm. It closes and contacts that contact points. Well, hang on. It does not line up very well at all. You know, we're not gonna be able to get a very good shot of that. But anyway, so between the sloppy bushings, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to check. That's why I didn't return it yet. I was just curious on just how sloppy that is. It's probably just as bad as this one. Hang on. Okay, now this is some funny stuff here. This is actually worse than my original. Let me see. I think I zeroed my dial out. No, not quite. Let's put this on 0. Okay, that's about where it begins at. Still, watch. Okay. My old one was about 10 to 15. This one's, you know, 15 to 20. So, yeah, there, I'm buying, you know, a distributor that was supposed to be rebuilt. Is actually worn out worse than my old one. How does that work? Now, sadly, I don't know how this happens. This Cardone company is in Mexico, and all the major auto parts stores carries this brand. How do they not get returns? And you know, somebody says, you know, no more. You know, AutoZone, Advanced, Napa, and O'Reilly's all carry this brand. I don't know how that happens. Okay, I'm not going to worry about trying to show you how much better these points line up, but we'll just do this. Look, so here's the good one. This is actually made in a company by a company in Canada. It's Auto Line, not to be confused with Auto Light. Auto Line. And here, okay, look, that's the way they should be. Maybe 1 to 2 thousandths. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you very much, Canada. The other thing about this, here, the gear thing, hang on a second. Let's get this out of here. Is they managed to use that hole for the distributor, the original hole. Okay, they didn't turn that gear into Swiss cheese. You know, it goes through one side and out the other. They put a pin through there, and that's it. So hopefully this, look, and they're even proud enough to put their tag on it. Hey, we manufactured this thing. So the company in Mexico won't even put their name on it. Yeah, no thanks. I'm taking that back. That will get returned by the end of the day, now that I'm done with it. Oh, and the other thing is, this was actually cheaper. Not only was it cheaper, for the price they also included a new rotor and distributor cap. Look at that. Now, I'd already bought all my tune-up parts, so I already have this stuff, but, you know, had I known, a better distributor with the cap and rotor for less money. Thank you. Now, I got this from Rock Auto. Now, this is not a plug for Rock Auto. Oh, and I just noticed something else. These do need oiled from time to time. See, my original one has this little oil cap. I don't know, maybe every 5,000 miles. I don't know how often. I'd better look that up. And the one from Canada also has the oil cap. This one that's a disaster from Mexico, they just plugged it. They just plugged it with a plastic cap. What are you supposed to do? Pull that out once in a while and hope you don't lose it? I don't know. Maybe you can inject it down through the center with a hypodermic needle or something with oil. I don't know, but I like this better. So this is not a plug for Rock Auto because they carry both brands. If they were aware of the quality issue with the Cardone, the Mexican company, they would do away. They'd gather up their stock and send it back, and they would only carry the Canadian Autoline brand. So it's more of a plug for the Autoline company in Canada than it is Rock Auto. Get it? Okay, I went ahead and turned the ignition on, and you know, there's variations even in trying to find the tune-up specifications for cars this old. One source says here on the dwell meter, let's see, on a 6-cylinder scale, 35 to 40, and then another source says specifically 38. So, yeah, 38's between 35 and 40. So we're gonna aim for in the middle there, and see what happens. We're gonna see how close these are set from the factory. And settings varied too from some vehicles that were automatics and transmissions, manual transmissions. You know, there's different variations, but let's see what happens. Wow, it's set on like 6. So they installed them but didn't really set them. But that's okay. No complaints here. So I'm gonna get out and loosen these screws up a little bit. You have to leave them a little bit snug. Alright, not bad. Alright, not bad. I'm just going to give them a little tweak here one way or the other, and actually I need a third hand here, I think. Somebody pull the trigger while I adjust these. Let's see here. Oh, no change. Hang on a minute. Well, I tried this in, I think something's gone haywire with my impressive analyzer that I may have kicked the bucket. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I should have got a pretty good reading on this, and it's just not. It's just not. The reading's not changing no matter what here. If I make the gap small or big, it just stays on. It only goes up to like 6 or 8 down here on the 6-cylinder scale. So, man, that's unfortunate. I really like this tester, but it may have kicked the bucket already. Hang on, I gotta mess with this a little bit, okay? Alright, I'm sure I'll have to do some fine tuning there. The distributor's probably just in the ballpark. I'm sure I'll have to set the timing on it, but the cap is all back on it and everything. It should run. We should just maybe give it a try now, huh? Let's see here. Where's my trigger? Where's my trigger at? There we go. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh, she's been cold and sitting for a week. Still. Come on, girl. Oh, I should move the distributor a little bit. I give up. I was praising the Canadian one, and it is right about the bushings, but there's something else going on with it. I might have to Frankenstein the two together. I don't know what's going on. When I put it in and have the cap off, I can turn the ignition over and the points are sparking real nice, and for some reason they're not getting, the spark's not continuing on to. So I thought, for the heck of it, I'm just gonna throw the one with the worn out bushings in. Okay, now watch. Okay, are we all ready? That's the one from Mexico with the worn out bushings. Okay. It's a, boy, is that enough to make your head spin, huh? It makes my head spin. But I know with the worn bushings what it does at various RPMs and going down the highway. It's fine. It'll sit here in the garage and idle beautifully. But once you get it out on the road, I know, I know what it does. There's something going on with this top plate in here. I don't know what it is yet, but I gotta figure that out, because this is the one that has the good bushings, and I'm just gonna take all this stuff off the top of the one, put it on the other, and see what happens. Is that not crazy? That's what I mean. It's stupid things with these. This would have long been done. But these stupid aftermarket parts or the remanufactured parts. All right. So how about this? I got parts of the Canadian one, parts of the Mexican one, and actually a part off of my original one too. So I've Frankenstein this thing back together. I just got to put the points and condenser back on it yet, but I got the plate and whatever other hardware. I don't know what's going on with this plate, but it does have some weird differences. I don't know what's going on with it. But you know, I decided to go ahead and take this you know, that tag from Canada off of there because we had problems with this one. They don't get credit for this. So if Mexico got it part right and Canada got it part right, maybe they could, you know, different parts right. Maybe we could meet in the middle somewhere and actually make one that's completely right, like maybe made in the USA. Maybe that's what's missing here, huh? Just saying. There it is. So, you know, why should I come along? You know, half Canadian, half Mexican. Why should I, the American, have to come along and sort their mess out and try to get something together that works right? We'll see what happens. Okay, I do have the new distributor in, and I think I have it set close enough that it'll start, but I do have to set the points, or at least check them. They may be preset close enough from the factory, but we're going to check it and make sure it's right with this old school engine analyzer. You used to be able to get these at the auto parts store, but not anymore. These are kind of old school for old cars, and we can set the points and various things with it. So let's go back over to the other distributor for a minute, because for the benefit of those of you that aren't real familiar with points, let's see if it can show here. Here's the points in here, and they're set to where they're open, in the open position. But you can maybe see as the shaft wobbles, how that changes that right there, how it changes that point gap. Okay, and they need to be set, you know, right, and when they're fluctuating, they're not right. How those are set are, these screws need to be just snug. It's probably tight now. Oops. They need to be just snug. And there's a cutout up here that's the shape of a triangle. And what you do is you put your screwdriver in here. You leave them screws snug so you know you can move this. So you can move that whole bottom plate. So as you adjust them, get them right, those screws will still. Then you tighten these down and recheck it and make sure it's right. So a lot of people set those with points or with feeler gauges. I don't. I use my dwell meter. I believe it's more. It's more accurate. It's kind of a light, touchy, kind of a delicate feel doing that with feeler gauges, and you know, if you're careful, you can get them right. But I still say dwell meter's better. Finally, I have the right combination of parts. Okay. See, here we go. Finally. This time it does go. That's the Canadian distributor with the good bushings, with some parts from both, you know, the one from Mexico and my original. It's the right combination of parts that this is what happens. Okay. Yeah, I need to adjust some things here, but I can work with. It runs. It has the good bushings. I'll get it tuned up here. Yeah, I gotta get some couple things hooked up here and get this right, get it adjusted. Okay, I fixed two problems. Got the distributor sorted out. So, and then I fixed a problem with me of not having the dial on the analyzer in the right position. So I can set the dwell now properly. And right now I have it, yes, I have it over on the RPM setting, over on the RPM setting on 6. It has to be over here in dwell for the dwell test, duh. So I am off a bit. The dwell is going to be on this. There's for 4 cylinders, 6 and 8 cylinders. It'll be this chart. We should be up at about 38. So we're a little bit high there. I'll just loosen these points up just a little bit, because that snugged them up pretty good. Now, I showed you how that's adjusted with the screwdriver and the triangle thing, and you twist it one way or the other to open or close the point. So let me get this, let me see here. Let's see. All right, 32, 4, 6, 8. All right, now snug that down. All right, that's tight. Hopefully it didn't move much. Hopefully it didn't move at all. All right, so the points are set. We can chalk that off the list. The other issue we might have as far as timing it goes, there are timing marks down there on the harmonic balancer and on the little scale that's down there. But my harmonic balancer may be out of whack. It's a, inner rubber or inner metal piece on the end of the crankshaft, insulated by rubber on the outer ring, and over time the vibration and the heat cycles and the torque and, well, yeah, all that torque, that outer ring with the mark on it can move and make that mark no longer accurate or relevant. So for right now, and some would argue that maybe it's the better way, you can actually time it with a vacuum gauge, and I'll adjust the carburetor that way too. And then probably what I'll do is, just to confirm about that timing mark, is I'll do it with the vacuum gauge first, and then come back, and if that harmonic balancer is still good, those marks should be really, really close. Or if I can't see the one, then it probably has moved. So that's the method we're going with. I do have the vacuum gauge plugged into the manifold vacuum, and let's get this thing fired up and see what we're looking at. Give me just a minute. Okay, even running, the dwell is stated, it actually it's moved to about 39, but we're going to call that good, because the other reference said anywhere from 35 to 40, and the other reference I found online, the tune-up spec was actually 38 on the nose. So we're going to call that good, though. Let's go over here. Wait a minute. All right, the trick is here is we want to get as much vacuum. We want to adjust this distributor to where we have as much vacuum as we can develop. So I'll move this, and then we'll actually back it off a little bit. We're about 15, reading about 15, 16. So I'm advancing the timing. We're gonna see how high we can get it, and it still runs smooth. Up to 18. Alright, it's starting to stumble a little bit. Let's back it off a little bit. It's probably going too far. We're talking about 18 and a half is about all we can get out of it. So there, as I understand it, using this method, from there you want to back it off by 2 pounds, or 2, yeah. Yeah, 18 seems about it. We want to back that back down to about 16. Alright, and I think we want to move over to the carburetor and kind of do the same thing. Only we probably won't back it off. Just a minute here. I think we want to treat this the same way. The air-fuel mixture on the carburetor is, we want to back this, adjust this to, I think we want to go out as far as we can to get as much vacuum as we can. Where are we at? 16 to 17-ish. Almost at 18. That's kind of right on 18. Sounds like it smooths out a little bit too. Yeah, 18 is all we're going to get out of that. Actually, go too far, we lose a little bit. So I'm going to turn that back in. Actually, just until it gets ready to drop back off again. Then we're back up to 18. There we go, just a little, keep going slowly in. We find that point where it starts dropping. There, just a little bit, just diving a little bit under 18 there for a minute. Yeah, we'll keep going. There it goes. And I'm going to back it back off that wee little bit. We pass that point just by a smidge. Leave it right there at about 18. And I'm going to recheck the timing. Actually, we might take a look at our RPM. This is supposed to idle. I think at this point, the idle is supposed to be at about 550. So we'll switch this over to the RPM now. And that's the top scale. Yeah, we're idling much too fast. We're at about 800, you know, something about 850 on the RPM. So, let me spin this around, let's go over and turn our idle down a little bit. That screws right over here. So just scroll down a little bit. So we might leave it right there at about 6. They say, I think it said 550 for automatic transmissions and 750 for manuals. We're gonna split the difference here. About 6, 6.25. I think we're just gonna leave it there. That's it, and I need to unplug the vacuum gauge and plug the vacuum in. It goes to the vacuum advance there. Actually, that's probably going to change. Yeah, that's probably going to change the idle when I plug those back in. Actually, I think after I plug these back in, and the idle changes. Actually, I think that's when I set the final idle. I kind of did that ahead of myself, but it'll be all right. Oh, and I need to tighten that distributor down too in that location. Oh, that rattle. I think that's the vacuum gauge laying there. It almost sounds like that PVC valve is percolating. I should probably replace that. Alright, the distributor's tightened down. Let's plug some vacuum back into it. That didn't seem to make much difference. Should smooth back out here. Yeah, the idle is a little bit low. Because this car's just been sitting for so many years and I'm just getting things dialed in fairly close, I'm probably going to run it. You know, I don't think the timing's not too far advanced where it's pinging, seems to respond fairly well. So I'm probably going to run the car for probably a couple days, whatever, just blow the cobwebs out of it, and I'll probably go back through that whole procedure and tweak it once it gets the whole dust blown out of it, the things settle in. Finally. And two, that'll give me a chance to kind of confirm with that whole distributor ordeal, you know, whether that dead spot is gone and whether at higher RPMs, like getting off the highway, that, you know, the backfiring's gone. So I'm gonna want to confirm all those things before I, you know, let it settle in and give it some final tweaking. But she runs. I think she'll be better now. But I guess it's time to put the air cleaner all back on it. It does have a brand new filter and the brand new the crankcase ventilation filter. All those filters are new. Last thing I want to do here too is it's due. I've run it enough now. Got a 10-mile drive or so last week, and now today it's all up to temperatures. Change the oil in it. Do some final tweaking. We should be good. We might as well take it for a little ride, huh? Doing it. I can tell you it's running, definitely running better. The dead spot is gone. The backfiring is gone. I'm happy. It was a lot of messing around, but you know what? The car's running pretty dang good. We're rolling. About 65 miles an hour. 70? Oh yeah. There, we let off. There's no backfire. Belle says, hey, this is alright. Hey girl. This little car's fun. Yeah, that backfire was scary. It was so loud. Yeah, got my foot off, it kind of winds down normally. When I gently accelerate, that's where the dead spot was at. if I would just gently kind of make a turn and pull out easy and sputter a little bit, and then once I put my foot into it, you know, then it would smooth back out. Yeah, it's running pretty good. That's better. Yeah, and I'll say the little C4 transmission, yeah, it seems to upshift and downshift just exactly like it's supposed to. It's working really well. I think we're gonna have a good little cruiser here. Now here in the next couple of days, I do get it to the tire shop, and like I said earlier about the way they were mounted and not balanced right. So I'll go back down to my tire shop and get the mounting and balancing corrected. I think one of the beads leak. So they're brand new tires. They should have cleaned the wheels better, new valve stems, and you know, too. So, and then take it up for front end alignment. I got it fairly close. It drives pretty good. I take my hand off the wheel and we still go straight. So, all right, mission accomplished to this point. Well, we're done for the day. I would have liked to have gotten more done. I wasn't prepared for that extra unnecessary struggle we had, but I think it's ready for its first car show. Just about. It doesn't have the pretty paint, but you know, pretty paint's not a requirement for a car show. It's certainly a classic. That's all we got. I'm done. What do you think? Bella has missed out on her nap. We'll be back again soon. I don't know with what. Probably more, maybe more of the car. Maybe some other project. Don't know yet. Yeah, thanks for coming along today. I'll see you.